So in this video, we're just going to look at slope and finding the slope of a line, and two ways to do it. The formula for slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, is the change in y divided by the change in x. So if I take 2 points here, if I take the point 1, 2 and the point up here 3, 6, so I've got the point A 1, 2, and I've got the point B 3, 6. Now, if I can identify whether this is a positive or negative slope, I don't need to use the formula. So I'm going to connect A to B here. We can see it's going up from left to right, like a plane taking off. So this is a positive slope. So if you can do this, identify positive, this one here going down in this direction will be negative. So if we think about the change in y over the change in x, what's the slope of this line? Now, what does y change by? I've got a 6 and a 2. The difference between those two numbers is 4. And the difference between the 1 and the 3, the x parts, is 2. So the slope of this line is 4 divided by 2, which is 2. Which means that for every 1 it goes this way, it goes up 2 this way. And you can see that happening here. Out 1, up 2. Is that the same if I started here? Of course it is. So the slope in the line is going to be consistent all the way along the line. So if we use the formula, I'm just going to write the points again. A, 1, 2, and B, 3, 6. If you want to use the formula, and some people love using formulas, they will always use it. They won't try and do this a quick way. But if you want to use the formula, what I would advise you to do is label each of the points. X1, and this is, people might write X2 here. That's the mistake people make. This is X1 and Y1, your first point, and your second point is X2 and Y2, because every point contains X and Y. So if I fill this into the formula, Y2, I wrote Y2 there, Y2 minus Y1 is 6 minus 2 divided by X2 minus X1, 3 minus 1. I end up with 4 on top, 2 on the bottom, which is a slope of 2. So any point that I take in this line will go out 1 and up 2, slope of this line being 2. Okay, let's look at a negative slope. And as I said earlier, a negative slope will be coming into land, left to right. So I take this as the starting point of my journey into land, and this as the final point. It's quite a steep journey. It's not an airplane. And we connect these 2 points here. Doesn't matter which point is A and which point is B, because it's the same slope. So if we take this one as A, and we'll ignore the received 22 responses, we take this one as A, and you're telling me this is the point, out 1, up 4, so it's the point 1, 4, and down here B is the point, out 2, up 1, so it has to be 2, 1. So A, 1, 4, B, 2, 1. You've identified a negative slope because we're coming into land, or we're going down from left to right. Change in y on top. This is my fraction, this is my negative sign. So the change in y from 4 to 1, the change in y is 3. And the change in x from 1 to 2, the change in x is 1. So the slope of this line is equal to negative 3. If we use the formula, A, 1, 4, B, 2, 1. We label our points X1, Y1, X2, Y2, and we write M for slope. We write the formula out, Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. We get M, which represents slope of Y2, which is this 1 in here, minus this 4, 1 minus 4, 1 minus 4, divided by X2, 2 minus X1, 1, 2 minus 1. We get M to be negative 3 over 1, M to be negative 3. So negative and positive slopes.